Looking for a premium car, but Volkswagen Arteon or DS7 Crossback are not premium enough for you? Well, here's the facelifted Mercedes-Benz C-Class, which you can have for just 32,000 euro. But are you really getting a premium car at this price point? I often hear Audi, BMW or Mercedes are too expensive for what they have to offer. How can one justify paying 50, 60, 70 or even 80,000 euro for something you can have for half the price from a mass-market brand? To this I answer, usually premium brands feature new tech, which only later trickles to popular brands. For example, these days every car has ABS, but 40 years ago Mercedes S-Class was the first mass-produced car to feature electronic ABS. You pay for R&D and for the privilege of getting new tech before everyone else. But this is going to cost you not 2, but more like 3 times what a mass-market car costs. And this press C-Class is a good example. This car is spec'd for about 60,000 euro, a number easy to swallow by your company fleet manager. For this kind of money, you could drive an Arteon or a Mondeo Vignale, or enter the premium segment and drive away in a Mercedes-Benz C-Class. However, my premium Mercedes is powered by a not very premium 1.5 litre petrol engine, 184 horsepower, so it's not terrible, but the whole engine sounds a bit like a diesel when it's cold. Now, this car has been specified with the Burmeister audio, premium audio system, but the seats are only half electric, so if I want to move back and forth, it's actually manual, but the backrests are electrically operated, which doesn't make sense. There is no seat memory function, none of that. And then there is the lane assist and an AMG package, but no airmatic suspension. If you want something that won't sweat it on the motorway, you have to dish out at least 45 grand for a C300, and if you want a V6, that'll cost you 54,000 euro and more. Do you really need a V6? No, not really, but a premium car should have a big engine. Anyway, going back to C200, I configured it for about 70,000 euro, and I'm getting less than in a Ford Mondeo Vignale. I remember my comparison Vignale versus A4, but that Audi had much better spec, was more powerful and cheaper than this C-Class. And how is it to drive? Well, it's average. It's not something you want to hear about your new 60 grand car. It's okay around town, but on the motorway, well, the engine is not powerful enough. The displacement is basically too small, so it can't keep up with the driver's input, and that's despite it being equipped with a 48-volt EQ boost system. On the one hand, it's supposed to help reduce fuel consumption, and on the other hand, it's also supposed to reduce turbo lag. At around 120 km per hour, reaction to the gas pedal feels pretty much the same regardless of which mode you're in. The engine sounds strained, just like the 2.5 litre Mazda 6. But maybe EQ boost at least helps fuel economy. Okay, so instead of claimed around 5 litres extra urban, 5 litres per 100 kilometers, I got 7.4. Combined, it's closer to 9. So that's 47, 32 and 26 mpg respectively for you Americans. I hope I gave you American MPG, not Imperial MPG, but I'm really not very good at MPGs. Google it, okay? Anyway, in Eco mode, EQ Boost allows for something which is called the sailing mode. So I let go of the accelerator, and if the conditions on the road are okay, the engine shuts off completely. There is 0 revs. So there is an indicator here which shows me how long and how many kilometers I have sailed for out of my total distance covered. And an interesting thing, the 3-liter CLS I tested a couple of months back, I had more than 10% distance sailed. And in this car, it's more like 5%. It's weird because this is sort of the smaller, more economical engine. So, okay, maybe it doesn't need to because it doesn't use that much fuel. Well, it sort of does use as much fuel as the 3-liter, which is obviously twice as big, much more powerful and larger and heavier CLS. This does not compute.
According to specification, steering ratio is 15.5 to 1, which is very direct. However, electromechanical assistance takes away much of the feel. I suspect the AMG models have much better sorted steering because there is a lot of unused potential in this chassis.
I understand a C-Class with a small engine doesn't need to be sporty. It doesn't have to be sporty. It should be comfortable. But it's not. Damping is average at best, and so is sound insulation. So instead of getting wood on the center console, you may want to use the money for an acoustic comfort package. Well worth it. What else has changed besides the engine? Well, there are some minor cosmetic changes outside, which, if you ask me, I can't even point with my finger because I don't see much of a difference. But inside, the main change is the optional virtual instrument cluster. Now, I understand a facelift is not the time to introduce major changes, but even with the optional virtual instrument cluster, this interior does look dated. The C-Class is one of the oldest models in the Mercedes lineup. Now, most newer cars have this whole double screen contraption here. Now, I understand not everyone likes it. Do you like it? Let me know in the comment section below.
There is also a new steering wheel and voice commands. Using voice commands to change temperature or ambient lighting color is pointless, but sat-nav address input seems to work very well, also in Polish, unlike in the Audi. As far as parking assistant is concerned, that works better in BMW. Here you have to confirm you want to park. In the back there is nothing to write home about. The seats are short, legroom and headroom are average. I'm 175 centimeters tall, but if the driver or the passenger were taller, it would become tight in the back here. There are some cup holders and storage in the armrest. From the cabin you can only open the middle part of the seat to carry longer items, but if you want to fold entire backrests, you need to open the boot. Pull the release handles in the boot and you have to go to the back to fold the backrests, because they are not spring-loaded. C200 boot has 435 liters capacity, C300 has a slightly larger boot, probably because it does not have EQ boost. I like that there are shopping bag hooks and additional nets on the sides. You can order comfort access. It costs a lot, but it's well worth it when your hands are full of shopping. A bit of Mercedes trivia: since the baby Benz debuted in 1982, Mercedes sold more than 9.5 million 190 and C-Class sedans and estates worldwide. During the last 10 years, C-Class was Mercedes' best-selling model. The cars are produced in Germany, South Africa, China and the United States.
So, is this a premium car? First of all, popular brands advanced a lot in recent years. Prestige of owning a premium brand car can be hard to justify if there is no performance and tech to go along with it. But that also carries a premium price. So forget about a 30,000 euro C-Class. If you want to drive a real Mercedes, you'll have to spend at least 80-90,000. And what does premium car mean to you? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe if you haven't, like, share this with your friends who may be in the market for a new car. Also, watch more of my reviews, which should have appeared somewhere around here by now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.